Hi everybody, it's me Kenya and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to talk about my experience going to an HBCU versus a PWI. So this video is basically for, juniors and seniors. This is the time of the year when you guys are going to be focused on what colleges you're going to go to. Maybe you're going to be going on college tours. For me, when I was going to high school, the popular thing was to go on a Black college tour. And my school didn't have that. Instead, they took us up to Cornell University for 3 days. And it was interesting. So let me start off about talking about my experience of going to an HBCU. Now, growing up, my household has always been pro-Black. HBCUs were started because Black people couldn't get into predominantly white institutions, so they started their own types of schools. Like Spelman and Morehouse were like, the more popular ones that you wanted to go to. And mostly like the elite Blacks, the cream of the crop types of Blacks usually went to those schools. And this is where like the Deltas and the Iotas and things like that, those sororities and fraternities came about. Like it was like exclusive clubs that basically the cream of the crop went to. And I have a book, hold that thought, I'm going to show you. Now, like I say, reading is fundamental. This book is called Our Kind of People by Lawrence Otis Graham. This is a New York Times bestseller. I worked at a charter school and we had this book room and I stumbled across this book and of course I had to take it home and read it. And this basically broke down HBCUs and like basically this book was like dedicated to me, to like the cream of the crop, like Black elites, those that were doing the damn thing, So basically, this is a good read for that. And so HBCUs. So growing up, I always watched A Different World. Love that show. I feel like that had a real big influence on me choosing to go to an HBCU. Also, I remember being 8 years old and my father taking me to see School Days. My father was like always going to the mall and dressing really nice. We were at the mall and he was like, I'm about to go see School Days. And don't tell nobody I took you because you're too young and I got stuff in here you shouldn't be seeing. I'm like, I'm not telling. So we went to the movies and we saw School Days. So anyway, fast forward. So once I graduated from high school, I really wanted to go to an HBCU, especially Morgan State University. Now, you may not have the funds to go visit each college before you actually go to attend. But nowadays, there's other alternatives. You can actually just click on someone's YouTube channel and you can basically experience, what certain people are experiencing at their colleges. For instance, I follow two young ladies. One is Jayla Koriyan and the other is Mariah. I forget what her channel is called exactly, but I'm going to link those two in the description box. And if you follow any college YouTubers, put them in the comments section. This way, if you're interested, you can click on it and see, their college experience. So HBCU. So I went to Morgan State University, and I will say this: if you are not disciplined, do not go to an HBCU. Because when I tell you every night it was a party, when I tell you we at like our community center, however you call it, and we would get on a bus and it would take us to the party and bring us back like 4 nights out of the week. Let me tell you, if you are not disciplined, do not go to an HBCU. When I tell you the turn up is real, when I tell you it was so much fun, like I can't even explain how much fun it was. On Fridays, we called our cafeteria the Refact. It was short for refactory, like some old school term. I don't know if they still call it the Refact down in Morgan, but that's what we called it when I went. And on Fridays, there will be a live DJ up in the cafeteria. When I tell you, Morgan State was like, yes, we had fun. And then I also had a friend who lived in Baltimore City, and we would go, with her to cookouts on the weekends. When I tell you, going to Morgan State was like the bomb.com. And then, they have fraternities, sororities. They would be, stepping on the yard. I mean, it was just fun. And of course you had college. You would go to, your college classes. That's important as well. And I felt like I really learned a lot in my college courses. They were informative. I really enjoyed my classes and my professors. So I really can't complain about the educational component of going to Morgan State University. And then we had the bridge. Everybody was always on a bridge. Kids that weren't even at the school or attending were always standing on the bridge. It's like you're on the bridge, row in class. So anyway, I can go on and on about Morgan State University, but if you're gonna go to an HBCU, be ready for the turn up, be ready to have fun, but also be disciplined. Because I remember my roommate the first semester, she had like a 0.7 GPA. That's how unfocused she was. So make sure you are focused and disciplined. I was always homesick for some reason, so I transferred to St. John's University in Queens, New York. And when I tell you, it was a complete and total difference. Like, I felt like I was having a culture shock because all my life I had been around black people, and then I go to St. John's University. And I don't know how many black students attend St. John's University today, but when I went, there was not many black students in my classes, and I was like one of like many. Not one of many, one of like a few in my classes. And it was very interesting, like how the environment was totally different. Everyone was just so serious and stiff, you know. There was like no like turning up. Everybody came to class and they were just like, you know, I would just be looking around like, oh my gosh, like everybody is just so like serious. Like, where is the fun? Like, you know, you go to the cafeteria, there was no live DJ. There was just people just like studying or reading or, you know, just doing whatever that they do. But people were more focused at St. John's University, which is in Queens, New York, as I mentioned earlier. And it was just a total environment. Of course, it gets colder. You know, everybody's wearing the same muted colors, black, tans, browns. Like, it was just totally different. But as far as St. John's University, the educational component, I went to classes. I enjoyed the classes. I really can't say that there was much of a difference between the academics from when I went to Morgan State and then when I transferred to St. John's University. Like, as far as the complexity of the classes, I feel like it was the same, you know. Like, St. John's wasn't harder because it was a predominantly white institution. But yeah, of course, I'm a college hopper and I ended up at Rutgers University, which was very, very competitive. And I feel like I earned my degree. I really worked hard for my degree at Rutgers University. It was extremely difficult. Not as far, you know, I don't feel like it was difficult as far as the course load or the work that they gave us. It's the amount of work that we were required to do to earn a degree. It was just so much that it was just like, ugh. Like, I minored in English and I was literally reading a novel a week in every one of my 5 classes. Like, it was just so much. I was taking quizzes like almost every day, writing papers. Like, the amount of work was flipping insane. We had so much work that I'm assuming that students started to complain, and then we got a memo that professors could only assign us 75 pages to read per class a week. That's how bad and that's how much work we were getting over at Rutgers. When I tell you I earned my degree, and I remember being in one of my psychology classes and this girl was crying and she was like, I transferred from an Ivy League school because I thought that Rutgers was going to be easier and it's harder. And she was like breaking down in class. I was just like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And this is exactly why I had not gone back for a master's degree, because I still can't get over how much work I had to do for my undergrad at Rutgers. But that's my experience of going to an HBCU versus a PWI. And like I said, please link all college bloggers in the comments section. And if you want to check them out and do your own research, now with social media, you can definitely do your research before you just go to a college. So research. If you're not able to afford to go and do college visits, click on these videos. Research, that's all I'm saying. Google is your best friend. If you don't use Google, shame on you. So that is my experience between an HBCU and a PWI. And if I had to pick an HBCU to go to, of course, go to Morgan State University. You want to go to a PWI? Go to Rutgers. I like St. John's University too, but go to Rutgers. So that is it for my video on my experience of going to an HBCU versus a PWI. I feel like I'm being repetitive right now. So I will see you in my next video. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I would love to interact with you guys. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.